My name is Adrienne Bryant Godwin, and I am the Director of Programming for the Center for the Arts. Sphinx Virtuosi is a chamber music ensemble made up of the country's top Black and Latinx classical soloists. The ensemble annually tours to major venues across the United States, but at the core is their mission to transform lives through the power of diversity in the arts. As individuals, these musicians have performed as soloists with America's leading orchestras. They hold professional orchestra positions, but when they come together as Sphinx Virtuosi, I see them as the lifeblood of the future of classical music. They're actively commissioning new work by composers of color, and they create these expertly crafted programs which simultaneously pay homage to masterworks from the classical canon, but also invite audiences to discover the incredible talents of living composers. Not only will the Center for the Arts be hosting the Virtuosi for a public performance, but they will also be one of our Mason Artists in Residence next year, which means they'll be on the ground in our community for several days surrounding their performance, interacting with both our students and also with the larger community in Northern Virginia. This type of engagement work allows them to be a bridge between communities of color and the classical music establishment.
My name is Thomas Mesa, and I'm a cellist and soloist for Sphinx Virtuosi. The piece on the program in which I'll be the soloist is a cello concerto called Divided by Jessie Montgomery. And this is a work that has been a sort of living, breathing organism for the past couple years because of the delay in its premiere, first of all, but also because of the changing political environment. And it is sort of a political statement. And this music itself is not quite finished, actually, as we speak right now in March. So the concept is almost there, and it's, like I said, a living, breathing organism. So, Jessie Montgomery has had so much successful exposure recently, and it's going to be a major premiere for a major composer. So I'm glad to share that with you all, and see you there.
Many people are concerned that audiences for classical music are dwindling and that the field might be fixated on works that were created hundreds of years ago. Well, Sphinx Virtuosi is absolutely the antidote for this. They are the model for what a 21st century classical music ensemble can and should be. Camille A. Brown is one of the most vibrant choreographers working today, which is evident in the fact that she is in incredibly high demand. Her work is rooted in African American social dances, movement that was originally intended to bring communities together, to provide hope in difficult times, and to assert independence. Camille's career has just exploded over the past decade. She's a regular choreographer now on Broadway and will have her directorial debut next year. Her work has been at the Metropolitan Opera, on TV with John Legend, and most recently in the Netflix film Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
The phrase has to come alive based on the choices of the individual, and it's organic. And a lot of times when I'm coming in the studio, I have an idea, but I'm also letting myself be okay with not always knowing and discovering. And I think that's, for me, even though it's challenging and it's scary in my process, the unknown, there's a danger, but that's how you find your material.
I think what is so special about what she creates is that it invites you in, and you're enjoying her inventive movement and her incredible dancers, but at the same time, you're witnessing a deeply personal meditation on Black identity, and it stays with you. She has this ability to create awareness and understanding of history and culture through movement that at the same time feels very contemporary. When we present her company, Camille A. Brown and Dancers, it will be their first time back on the road since the pandemic essentially put a hold on live performing arts for the past year and a half. So we're excited to host them for a creative development residency leading up to their performance, which will provide much needed space and time together so that they can recalibrate and get back to work.
The company really takes ownership and authenticity when telling our stories and stitching our own ink inside of the history books. I am very excited to perform at the Center for the Arts because we haven't performed in a very long time. So it'd be amazing to be back on stage with my family and performing for you.
Seeing Camille A. Brown and dancers at the Center for the Arts will be an amazing opportunity for our audiences to see one of today's leading choreographic voices in action. Swing Out is an evening-length work that celebrates the joy and beauty of competitive and social swing dance. Leading the creative team is choreographer Caleb Teicher, who has gained a following for their thoughtful and energetic work, which features tap and social dance, mainly Lindy Hop. For this major project, Caleb enlisted some of the country's leading swing choreographers and dancers, as well as bandleader Eyal Vilner, who will have 8 musicians on stage with him. With this performance, you'll see some stunning swing dance champion dancers, and you'll hear some lively music that will make it impossible for you to stay in your seat, which is a good thing because the show culminates with a jam session on stage, and all audience members are invited to participate. The Center for the Arts has supported the creation of this work from the very beginning, actually, and we're proud to be one of the co-commissioners for this piece. Originally, we were going to host the company for a technical residency in the concert hall, which unfortunately had to be canceled because of the pandemic. But when the company comes next season as a Mason Artist in Residence, we are excited that they'll arrive a few days before the performance and be able to offer masterclasses and workshops and talks with our on and off-campus communities.
Swing and jazz has an appeal for young, old, rich, poor, black, white, but it's so often done with an eye towards nostalgia or preservation of tradition. But I think the swing dance community and the swing dance scene is thriving so remarkably in the present, in 2020, that I think we needed a show that expressed that. We were trying to create greater dimension and allowing people to do partner dancing, different kinds of partner dancing, different ways of approaching improvisation and choreography. But still trying to allow that space for people to be seen as people, individual characters in an ensemble.
Swing dance plays such an important role in American culture, but historically, you haven't really been able to see theatrical productions that really elevate the art form in the way that it deserves. Swing Out changes this, and I can't wait to share this performance with our audiences.